know what it is with me recently, but once I finish making something, I want to just make it over and over again in different variants. In my last video, I did that with bucket hats, and in this video, I want to do that with book sleeves, or like the pouches. These little guys, they look like this. They're more specifically designed for books, but it's really just a pouch that you could use for anything. I have a crochet Depop that I made a couple months ago, and something that I really like making and putting up on my shop is these little book sleeves. I've sold a couple of them. The only ones I have left are this purple one with just these plain basic granny squares, and it has a little bow tie detail that closes it down instead of a button. And then this one I actually never put up because I just didn't take the photos for it, but it's one of those big granny squares that you just sew together, and it has a little strawberry detail on it. I made one similar to this that was only one shade of pink a while back, and it sold, and so I made this one to kind of replace it. And then the whole reason this video even became a thing in the first place was this guy that I made a couple days ago. I had this mint green yarn, and it was such a small amount that I really didn't know what I was going to use it for. And I have this problem. I talked about it in my last video. I have a lot of scrap yarn, like a lot of scrap yarn. I don't really know exactly what to do with all of it because it kind of doesn't go together, and I just never really know what to do with it. So I think it would be a really good idea if, instead of doing like a challenge where it's like, oh, how many of this can I make in a day, or just like trying to put a time limit, we're just gonna have like a fun, chill crochet vlog, and we're just going to make a bunch of these little sleeves. I haven't done a crochet vlog in a while, and I kind of haven't really sat down and just crocheted. Well, that's not true. In the last video, I literally crocheted for like 24 hours straight, and I was a mess. But that's not the point. I want to kind of just not time myself and like just enjoy the process of crocheting. First, we're going to take it back to yesterday, where I actually already kind of started because I wanted to have something to actually share with you guys. I had a pink multivariate yarn that, again, I only had a very small amount of, and I had to play yarn chicken. And actually, if I look at these squares really quick, I'm sure I can, yep, it's right here. I can tell exactly which one it is. I actually had to go in. You can definitely, well, can you? I think you can obviously tell. Right here and right here, these pink sections are actually a different yarn entirely because I ran out of yarn, and so I cut off a little bit of the multi yarn and kind of tried to blend it in. Hopefully it doesn't look too noticeable. I still don't really like this one very much. I think it's just very hard to tell that it's a heart. I think it's because of the fact that there's a white within the multi yarn. I don't not like it, but I know I could have like made it better. So once I made 6 of them, because I need 6 for each book sleeve, I then decided that I was going to do a contrast where I knew you'd be able to tell that it was a heart. I made a black and white, which, can we just like, if I were to have a book sleeve, I feel like it would be one that's made out of these squares. And then, since I loved the black and white so much, I decided to go back to the same exact flower square and make a black and white one with a gray background. And after sitting on it overnight, I don't think I really like the gray as the background. I kind of wish I would have done like some type of color. I'm not exactly sure what color, but just a color in general. I kind of wanted this one to be more neutral toned though, so that way it can like match an outfit and kind of be like an all year round type thing. Whereas I kind of feel like this is more leaning towards like Valentine's Day, even though Valentine's Day is well already over. And then at the end of the night, I didn't film anything about this, but I did start making another flower variant that was more colorful. So this one is, you can't kind of tell, it's kind of black almost looking on camera, but it's like a dark blue center with a little light blue. You guys really did not miss much yesterday. Other than that, I kind of just wanted to buckle down and just see how much I could kind of make on my own time and then come and talk to you guys about it. But I'm very proud because this was what I accomplished yesterday. I made 17 granny squares yesterday. And not only did I do that, I weaved in every single end. All of them are completely ready to go and be put together. Same thing with the flowers that I made. I only made 5 of them because I was just so tired last night that I just didn't even like think to even make another one. And I think on this one I'm going to do a white background just to kind of help make the blue pop more. We're going to start probably with this, or well, I guess I'll make one more of these, so we have 6 of these all good and ready to go, and then I'll move on and finish these ones up, and then we'll start putting them together. I think the reason why I got so much done yesterday too is because I'm doing the like, I know there's a certain word, but I can't think of the word off the top of my head. Is it like single file or like a line order type thing? Basically where I would make the flower part or the heart part, whatever part was the center, I would then weave in that end and I would make all 6 of them. And then once I had all 6 of them, I would then move on and I would make the outside, and I would do the outside for all 6 of them and then weave in the ends. Make sure I did all of that as I went, so that way it was not a daunting thing. Then that way I will have all the squares ready to go, and then we can sit there and make them back to back, and I kind of will feel like there's more getting done faster. If that makes any sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Last square is complete, done, all woven in to add to the stack of all of them. I'm gonna work on making the squares for these ones. This color scheme just looks a lot better compared to this one. It kind of is giving like cinnamon roll, the little Sanrio character. That's what I'm getting from this, or like beach, summery, spring. It's now a little bit later, so that's why it looks a little different. I ended up actually finishing what I wanted to do. Did some crocheting, took a nap, and then woke back up, and here we are. Currently, I only have 5 out of the 6 that I need. I still have to make a whole entire square itself, but I have 5 completely done. My next tackle for today is going to be taking these ones, because I have 6 of each, and I want to sew them all together today, I think. I think that's the goal. I don't know if we're gonna get all of that done. And actually, oddly enough, while I was sleeping, the purple granny square book sleeve that I literally was just talking about that I had left over, it sold, so I have to pack it up, and then it also has a beanie that somebody bought, so I have to pack that up and ship that out. So I really am kind of tempted to make at least one that is like a normal granny square type, maybe with some scrap yarn, but we'll see. I think it's kind of ironic that I started filming this video and then now that one finally sells. Here's what I was talking about earlier. This is what the order that was that came in earlier. The book sleeve that you guys just saw earlier, and this beanie, which oddly enough, they match. I made these at 2 completely separate times. I made this one, and then I had leftover yarn, and that's how this one even came to be. Both of these are going to the same person, so I need to pack them up, and we'll mail that out later today. Now I'm going to start putting this together. I decided I'm going to start with the pink one, just because it's my least favorite, so there's actually no reason for it. But I wanted to show you how I put it together. So there are 6 squares in total, and they're 2 by 3, and what will happen is it will fold. So these ones will come over and it'll make a book pocket. So all I really have to do is go up this seam, sew those together, and then go across these ones and sew them together. And when I say sew, I'm not actually going to be using my tapestry needle. I'm going to be using my same 5.5mm hook. I'll take my 2 squares, so this one will be going this way and sewing across. So what I'm going to do is find the corner on each one, which is going to be a chain for the most part, unless you're doing any type of other thing. Normally you'll have a chain in the corner. Some people do 2, some people do 3. I only do 1 because I have such loose tension. And both of these squares are facing upwards. Find that chain, and I'm going in the back loop only. And then on this one, the same thing as well. I'm only going into the back loop. So not the one in front of me, but the one away from me. And then I'll take my loose end and put it in the middle, along with my working yarn as well. And I'll just pull through both and the one that's on my hook as well. And doing so will keep your yarn on the inside of your project, so that way whenever you weave it in later, it's just easier. I just work down the seam exactly the exact same way. You want to make sure that you go into the same exact stitch. And then after you go across, it looks like this. It kind of has these little like V's in it. And if you were using the same yarn that was your background color, it would be less noticeable, but I don't have any more of this yarn, so I had to use the white instead. I think it still looks really nice regardless. So I'm just going to go and repeat this process for the entire thing, and then I'll show you guys when I have the whole thing. Alright, and here it is, all put together. Honestly, I kind of like the contrast of having the white, but now all I have to really do is go around the border and fold it in. So it'll go like this, and then like this. We're gonna add some rows right here to kind of help make it a little bigger as well. This makes no sense. It's because it's not my pattern. I'm not gonna obviously give away the pattern itself, but if you guys want the pattern for this, like how I'm constructing it, I'm gonna leave it linked down below. I don't know if I already said it or not, but I will. Here we have it. So I just went in and sewed up the sides here as well, weaved in all my ends, and all that's left now is for me to put the little bow that kind of collapses it together. Otherwise, it's done. And honestly, having it put together, I don't hate it. I don't know. I think having the white outline kind of helps the hearts come together. And I think I'm going to do probably a pink bow, probably with this yarn, just to kind of help tie it in a little bit. What I do for the bow is I just do 50 chains and just make it into a bow, slip it in right through here, and tie it through these little holes right here. So yeah, I'll do that part later. Don't really feel like doing that right now. I don't know why that I thought I wasn't gonna have enough for this. I had plenty. Like, there's still a decent amount left here, and I completely slip stitched it together. Now I'm gonna go ahead. I might have enough time to start the border on this before my boyfriend comes home. We'll see. We're kind of racing against the clock, but not really, because we can just do it when we get back as well. I actually found more gray yarn so I could go around the outside of it. I am still gonna go in though and do black and white details, just to kind of give it more color, I guess. It is slightly a different tone of gray, but you can barely tell. Alright, so we have a little bit of updating to do. It's actually been about 2 or 3 days since I last talked to you guys. I think I might have showed you some of this one, but I'm not exactly sure. All it needs is a tie and it's done. So it'll go like this. Very cute. So this one is basically done as well. And then I haven't really done an extreme amount of crocheting since we last talked. Still have the black hearts here that I need to work on. These are still my favorite. I don't know what it is about this square. I want to make almost like a cardigan or a sweater or something out of ones that look like this because it just looks so good. Like, it looks good in the camera, it looks good in person. I love it. And I still have the blue flower ones. I still need to make one more of the blue flower ones. I wanted to make like a short form, like shorts, TikTok type video with these ones because these ones are my favorite. And I never got around to it, so that's why I haven't touched them. I did decide to start making granny squares to make regular ones. The only problem, which is not a huge deal, but it's something I noticed, I don't have a 5mm hook. I need to go buy another 5mm hook. But for now, I don't have that, so all I have is a 4.5 and a 5.5. And when I made my last two ones that were like the granny squares like this, I think I used the 5mm hook. Either that or a 4.5 because these squares are way bigger than the other ones. I made sure that when I was making these squares, they measured to be the same size just so that everything was even. You'll see there's a decent amount, honestly. So these ones are lined up perfectly. And there's this much on this side and there's that much on the bottom. It's just something that's kind of bugging me a little bit. Obviously this one is blue. I don't have a lot of this like navy color, so I only really kind of made it with the lighter blue and a white. Same thing with the other squares. I only have 5 because I want to make a 6th one and kind of make a short form video with it. And then I just decided, because I really wanted to keep kind of going, I was in the mood to crochet, so I decided to make another one. This is the square that I came up with. It's kind of giving like Neapolitan vibes, like the ice cream. I don't really know where I came up with the idea for it. I kind of just saw the colors laying together in my scrap bin and I was like, you know what? Those look good together. This is all that I have of this color, and I also don't have a lot of this pink either. And what's very sad about all this is it's the big twist yarn, which is making me so sad because the fact that Joann's, I haven't even talked about this, but Joann's closing is like such a big, not okay. I'm sounding dramatic if I say it's a big deal, but Big Twist is like 97% of what I used to crochet, and I don't want to change yarns at all whatsoever. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but this is all I have left of it. I say I don't want to make any more color schemes other than this, but I probably will. I think I want to make at least one more, and it's going to be in the flower design because I want to use a bunch of my scraps that I don't have a whole bunch of, and I want to make them like mismatchy, so like maybe like a pink center and like orange flowers and like a purple with a green. So like I want to do a cute mismatch one because the tutorial that I used to make this, that's kind of what their like thumbnail had, was like a bunch of different colors, and so that's why I'm inspired to do that. Also, it'll use my scrap yarn, which is good. 2, it's like a good summery type theme, and if I do markets and I take these to my markets, if they don't sell on my Depop, then I'm hoping it'll sell. So yeah, that's all I have to update you guys on for now. I will let you know when we do some more crocheting. guys, so we have now reached the end of the video. I know I look really crazy. I literally just rolled out of bed. It wouldn't be a video if I didn't look like I just rolled out of bed. But before we go, I wanted to do a recap of all of the book sleeves that I made. They're already all up on my Depop as we speak, and I love them so much. I wanted to make more of them. Like I said, I wanted to make the more like colorful rainbow type one that was in like the flower form. I never got around to that. I ended up actually getting yarn in the mail for my next video, and I'm extremely excited for it. If you guys have stuck around this far into the video, I guess I could tell you. I'm making another 6-day star blanket, and it's gonna be in spring colors, and they're so cute. When I tell you I'm so excited to make this blanket, you have no idea. I don't know if you can tell by the background how the walls are completely bare, but I just changed rooms. This room is a little bit bigger than the one that I was staying in, and we kind of switched around our house a little, and so now the smaller room is the storage room, and now this room is our room. So we have more space, and I haven't put everything up yet on the walls because if you guys saw, I had like Halloween type stuff still up. So I'm gonna make it a whole thing where I kind of like don't put the Halloween stuff back up yet, even though I really want to. And we're gonna get spring and summer type stuff in here, as you can see the Halloween sheets still in the background. Those are staying because I love those sheets so much. Not the point. The point is that my next video is going to be a very fun video, and so I need to end this one so I can start the next one. Let's go over all of them that I made. There's 6 of them. Starting off with the flower ones, we have the gray one with the white flowers. Cute. It has a black bow on it, and yeah, it's very neutral colored, but I think it works. Then I have this flower one that is honestly probably my favorite out of the 2 flower ones, just because it's really giving spring, and it's really hard to tell. Even in the pictures it was hard to tell, but this is like a navy blue, and so is the bow. I sewed it up the sides like that because the inside here has it to go with it. Very cute. Then I made 2 granny square type ones. So I have this pink, brown, and cream colored one, or like, it's more like an ivory than a cream, but very cute. I don't know why, it's giving Neapolitan. It's also kind of giving horse girl to me. I don't know why, maybe the browns with the pinks. I could really picture somebody having like the Chestnut Spring series. I haven't read that series, but I know I want to read it eventually. I figure this one would be kind of cute for that. And then following the same theme of the blue flower one, I made this one, which I really love these colors. I love having just the little tiny hint of the navy in there. I think it's very cute. And lastly, we have 2 heart ones. So we have this one that is more of the more traditionally kind of giving Valentine's Day, kind of giving like girly vibes. Kind of hard to tell it's a heart. Not really, like you can tell that it's a heart. It's just not as defined as the other one is. It's got that pink bow that I used to help play yarn chicken on this square so that there was enough for it. And then I saved the best one for last, ironically. I didn't actually try to do that, but it just kind of worked out that way, which is this one. I already listed it, but I honestly kind of want to take the listing down and keep this one for myself, or maybe I'll just make another one for myself. This one is my favorite. It's so cute. It's very basic, but I think that's why I like it so much. Black hearts with a white background, the little black bow. Also thinking about making an opposite one where it's like mostly black with white hearts. So yeah, that is everything that we made. This video kind of was like over the course of like 3 weeks or so. So definitely a contrast compared to my last video. But anyways, if you guys did stick this far along into the video, go ahead and comment down below which one of these is your favorite. I turned the computer on by accident. We're gonna ignore that. Or comment down below what you were crocheting while you were watching this video. And yeah, if you guys like the video, giving it a like helps. Subscribing if you want to see more crochet content from me in the future, that also helps as well. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys all in my next video.